Hello there, folks. DJ Burgstarre here, back with another tip. So today we're going to geek out just a little bit. Instead of doing something sort of fun, what I want to do is explain compression to you in an easy way. And when I found out this main idea of compression, it just made sense to me the rest of the time when I'm using compression. And compression, there's so many different tools you can use. You can use a straight compressor, you can use glue compressors, you can use multi-band compressors, with the OTT compressor and third-party compressors. But if you just get a grasp of the main idea, all of these things will make sense, and compression to you should be easy from this point on if you just grasp the main idea. So here is the main idea, okay? Compression is just loudness. It's just the volume. It's just dealing with the audible volume. It's a ratio between the input and the output. Okay, so what it's doing is, if you have really quiet parts in your song, it can make those louder. And if you have parts that are too loud, it will bring them down. And overall, that will be reducing your dynamic range of whatever you put the compressor on. So let's compare that when we're talking about a singer. So if you have a vocalist that came in, and let's say they're whispering in some parts and being really quiet, and then they're screaming, yelling loud at other parts, you can put a compressor on that singer, so when she's talking quietly, you can hear what she's saying because you're boosting the volume of the lows. And when she's singing too loud, you're reducing with gain reduction on how loud that gets. So you're reducing the dynamic range. Let's just bring up Wikipedia here, because you bring up what compression is and you'll find all these diagrams and all these large explanations, and it doesn't have to be this complicated. In fact, right here at the top, they explain it pretty easy here. It says, simply, compression is an audio signal processing operation that reduces the volume of the loud sounds and amplifies the quiet sounds, thus reducing or compressing an audio signal's dynamic range, just like I was referring to with a singer. If she's too quiet on parts, it'll boost those up so you can hear her, with the rest of your mix. Potentially, you wouldn't be able to hear her at all if she's or he is singing too quiet at some parts. And then when they're singing too loud, maybe you want to pull that back. So, you put a compressor on there and you're reducing that dynamic range. I have a simple waveform here of a sine wave. And let's watch what happens when I put the compressor on and when I leave it just the way it is. So I put a utility on here so the relative volume will be the same, so we can sort of A/B these and compare what a compressor does and when you're just not doing any compression. So this is without compression here, okay? And the sine wave is going to get quiet. Here it goes. Watch it drop the level. All right, where did it get to? Here? Okay, so down there in the corner on the left, you'll see that says 5 dB. Way over here. That's where it got to on this sine wave without compression. Let's see where it gets to here. So it's coming down. All right, right about there. 527 or something. Where is it going at the top? Way up here to, right about there. So 12.7. Okay, so that's loud and quiet. Okay, the volume basically. Now let's turn the compressor on. Okay, let's start this again. Now with the compressor, it's not going to get as loud and it won't get as quiet. All right, so here it is. That's its maximum. Look, it's way quieter. It's just 10 instead of way up here at 12. Now it's going down, and this time It went down to there, which is 8, not 5, like the other one had. So you can see just by a sine wave going on there that this compressor is working. And once you understand that's what a compressor is doing, then you can mess with the controls. The threshold here on a regular compressor is telling it how much compression you want to put on, and that's what's giving you your gain reduction. So if I had no compressor, look, there's no gain reduction there. If I just left this at 0, it's just leaving it all the way up. So the more you pull this down, the more gain reduction you're going to get on your threshold. And the output basically is you're boosting those lows. So just as a general rule, we're not going to get into the knee and the different things, the attack and release and all these multi-band compressors and all that, because they're basically doing that same thing. They just have different controls to do it and different outcomes and things, and different ways to read the peak and the, all these different things. They're really just talking about the volume, the input to the output. So let me give you a quick other example. If you have, like, let's say classical music playing, classical music doesn't really have much compression or any compression, because they want that dynamic range to be very wide, so when the violins are playing something really quiet and then dun da da, the whole band is going, the whole orchestra and the timpani back there is banging away. They want you to feel that dynamic range from super quiet to really loud, and they just want to keep that, and that's the the way it sounds, and they want you to have the original sound. They don't want it to be compressed. Now in pop music, and just about any other style besides classical music, they want that kind of dynamic range to be squished a little bit, so it's not too quiet and not too loud, so you can listen to the song comfortably and you can hear the singer the whole way, whether she's whispering or saying something really loud. That's what compression is. Okay, so I just want to leave it there today. That's all. Just that compression is a ratio from the input to the output, and you're basically just, how much do you want to squish it? How much dynamic range do you want to put that audio that you're putting the compressor on? And you can use these controls to control that squishing amount. The lows are getting louder and the highs are getting reduced, and that's compression. Okay, so if you didn't quite get compression over the years, or you're new to this, that is what compression is at its core. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about today. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. DJ Burgstarre out.